Okay, let's do it. Ready?
Great.
Cool. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Seeing Other People. I'm Ilana. I am here with Gab Saper.
Hello, hello.
Welcome
Happy
to Seeing
be
Other
here.
People, Gab.
Thank you.
So, okay, we have a lot to discuss.
Yes.
First and foremost, you are a personal stylist.
Yes.
So cool. I need help.
Let's talk about it.
We will talk about
Yes.
that. Second of all, a lot of your work has to do with like building confidence for people, right? Through fashion.
Exactly. And like body acceptance, not just confidence generally, but like specifically around their bodies, how they feel about their bodies. You know, I mostly work with millennials. We grew up in 90s and 2000s toxic diet culture.
Yup.
So all that stuff is really, I mean, you couldn't have been a person in the world and not had exposure to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still, even in, you know, people's 30s and 40s, it's still really in there.
Yeah.
And when I first started styling, I just like was hearing people say stuff that broke my heart all the time. And I was like, no, I need to actually, that needs to be part of the work. And I need to focus on that in addition to the style. And also, how can you find clothes that make you feel good in your body and not feel like you need to always be losing like those last 10 pounds or whatever it is for each person.
100%. I recently heard this concept and I was talking to my best friend Christina about it, where like we were mind blown, where it's like dressing for your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a second. How
You
did
can
I
do that?
go like 30 years of my life not knowing that that was a thing?
Yeah.
Where I know what cuts, what styles I feel good in. So why am I trying to wear the things that I know I'm not going to be happy in?
Yep.
Why is that not a more common concept?
I don't know. Yeah, like the wrong things have become very common, and things
Yeah.
that are like that people would be benefited from need to get out there more.
Yeah.
And I would even take that one step further, because there are a lot of people who know like, oh, because I'm like this shape, I need to wear this kind of outfit because it makes me look skinnier, it makes me look taller. And I'm not about that. For me, it's like, how do you want to look? What parts of your body do you want to emphasize? What parts do you maybe want to de-emphasize? Like, it's okay to not love every part of your body. Most people don't.
Yeah.
But it's not just like following the rules of like, because you have a pear-shaped body, you wear these kind of pants, and because you're tall, you wear this kind of top. Because all of those rules they feel like the goal of all of those rules is just to be like skinnier and taller, no
Right.
matter what your shape is.
And to look like quote unquote everyone else,
Yeah.
but that's not what everyone else looks like.
And nobody looks like that.
Yeah.
Really. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, it's all about like what shapes feel fun and interesting to you. Like I know podcasts are not a visual medium. I'm 5'2". I'm like roughly a size 6 or 8. I'm curvy. And you know, this is a process I've gone through myself. I used to be like, oh my God, but like that makes my hips stick out. I can't wear that like that. And now like some of my favorite pieces are things that actually make me look even wider, because I think it's a really interesting shape, or I like how it works with the top. Like it's not just shifting that in your mind to dressing to look in a way that you find pleasing and not just like as skinny or tall or whatever as possible. Like that makes your style so much better too, because it gives you so many more options.
Right. It's so funny, and I'm sure we'll get into this more. Like there are a lot of parallels already coming up in my mind with like dating.
Totally.
And
Totally.
choosing what to wear.
Yes.
And like dating rules and fashion rules.
Yep.
But then like wanting to veer away from that and doing what feels right for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got a lot.
I know. Whenever I look at your content, I'm like, yes, like replace man with skirt or like whatever.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so we have a lot to get into there. I also know you have an amazing story to tell.
Yes.
About how you met your husband.
Yes, I do.
Let's hear it.
So I'm like waiting for a screenwriter to call me about making this a movie, because I think it's wild.
I know a few.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so we went, like all nice Jewish kids, we went to sleepaway camp. We went to the same sleepaway camp for only 1 year.
Okay.
He went to a bunch of different ones. I went to the same one all along. But we were camp boyfriend, girlfriend when we were 12.
Oh my
We
God.
just like
Can I
held
ask what
hands.
camp?
Yeah, it's called Echo Hill. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
exist anymore. Sadly, it closed. I actually completely like bawled when I found out that news.
That is really sad.
It's really sad. And like all my camp friends who now have kids are like, well, now what am
Where
I
do we
supposed
send
to
them?
do?
Yeah. My sleepaway camp had its 100-year reunion a
That's
few weeks
amazing.
ago. and my best camp friends and I couldn't go because it was one of their weddings.
Ugh.
And of the three of us, like, we've always been like a group of three, and the one who's getting married would have been the one to like
Organize it.
rally us together, get
yeah.
us to go, make a whole trip out of it, and it would have been incredible. We were like, all right, like the three of us are together this weekend anyway.
That's
it's
true.
our own.
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still like an active Facebook group and like stuff is still happening, but like
We'll take it.
yeah. And yeah, I'm still like some of my closest friends are people I met at camp, but also not just my husband.
Yeah. Wait, before we skip ahead.
Oh, yes.
I want to know more details about this boyfriend-girlfriend ship. Like,
We just like held hands.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't, I don't think we kissed. We just like, yeah, like when all the boys and girls were together, we'd like stand next to each other and hold hands. Yeah. And I have unearthed one photo of us from that time. It is wild.
Are you together in the photo?
It's
like,
a photo
next to each
of
other?
just us. Like we're
my
like
God.
posing in our like little like Shabbat outfits, like his
my
hair,
heart.
like you can see the hair gel in his hair, and it's really, really precious.
I love
that was our save the date photo. It was adorable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You didn't even need AI to do that for you.
I know, right?
Wow. Magic.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
you may continue.
Okay, so then I am dating myself by saying this, but Facebook opened up to all colleges the year I was a freshman.
Wow. Okay.
So there was a very specific, like, every person got. It wasn't like now where like some people are like, oh, I don't have Instagram. I don't like.
No, it was everyone.
Every person alive was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you friended every single person you'd ever met in your entire life.
Yeah.
No matter when you last spoke to them.
I did that too, even when I got Facebook. Like,
Oh, really?
That was,
Okay.
It was fully, you met
Yeah,
once, you're a friend of a friend of a friend,
Yeah.
you're friending each other.
Yeah. So we were Facebook friends,
Okay.
but we didn't like talk, poke, like
Comment on each
nothing,
other's
literally
statuses.
nothing. But we were Facebook friends. And like he would show up in the news feed once every couple of years and I'd be like, oh, that guy, he's like, you know, still a person.
Right.
Okay. He's like kind of cute.
Exists.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like is in the world. I moved to New York after college. He sends me a Facebook message and is like, hey, I'm going to be in New York. Do you want to have dinner and catch up? And I saw it and I think out loud I was like, ew, what?
Wait. I mean, that is random.
Yes.
That is random.
Yes. And like knowing him as well as I do now, it's so him because he's not good at keeping in touch with people, but he does still feel like anyone he's ever had a connection with in his whole life, he still feels connected to, which is like one of the things I love about him. He's just like so pure and sweet in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he's like, yeah, whatever, time, who cares? Like, so I saw that. I like sat on it for a couple days and I was like, on my way out of a situationship and having a summer of like just say yes to everything. So I was like, sure, why not? Like made him go to a restaurant 2 blocks away from my apartment, which is a theme that will continue. And yeah, we just like caught up like from, 15 years. And we just had a really fun night. Like there wasn't anything he had a girlfriend at the time. There wasn't anything romantic. It was just like
That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
No, truly. He meant it like as a friend. It wasn't like it was just like you're a person.
Did you know going into this dinner that he had a girlfriend, like from Facebook pictures? Or did you find that out during dinner?
It didn't feel like it was going to be romantic.
Okay, it didn't feel like you weren't like, oh, I'm going on a date. You were just like, I'm getting dinner with this guy.
Yeah. I didn't feel like a bait and switch at all. It was just, cool. But like it naturally came out that he had a girlfriend. And I was like, I felt nothing about it. I was just like, yeah, this is like a fun new friend, like new old friend, whatever.
Yeah.
And we stayed out till like 3 a.m., which it was like a Tuesday night. Even in my like most party girl party days, never did I do that on a weeknight ever. But we were just having so much fun. And then we kind of stayed in touch, like texted a little. And then 6 months later, he came back to New York, reached out. We had dinner again. We were both like very much single. And it just felt really different. Did
it raise any, not flags, but like anything for you that you stayed out with him till 3 a.m.?
Yeah. I was like, that was something like. Yeah.
There was something there.
There was something there.
Yeah. But he had a girlfriend. But there was something there. And
I wasn't like trying to date him. I wasn't like, oh, bummer, he has a girlfriend. Like I was just like, wow, that was really fun. Like that was a connection with a human being. But like as if he were like a girl or a gay guy or just like like a platonic, like it didn't feel.
Just a foundation.
Yeah.
A foundation
it was just like,
developing.
this is a person I like.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel flirty in any way. I wasn't like, bummer, he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this is a cool person that can maybe be my friend now.
Okay, so 6 months later.
So 6 months later, he comes back to New York. We have dinner, and it's just like feels totally different. Like very flirtatious. And I like when we left, we like tried to meet up again, but it just like didn't work with the logistics of like he was in town for a really quick trip. And then we started texting like a lot. Texting all day, talking on the phone, FaceTiming, like it progressed. It got really intense really fast. But he was living in Austin while this was happening.
Okay.
So then he came back a couple of months later and he like stayed at my apartment with me. Like he had some work meeting that he came for, but he stayed for the weekend and like met a bunch of my friends. And like it was like we were a couple. But we didn't like we didn't DTR. Like we just like acted as if. And then he went back home and I like, it was right before Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day was like the day after he got back. And I texted him something dumb on Valentine's Day. Like, I don't know what we are, like whatever, but like happy Valentine's Day. Nothing.
He didn't answer?
I didn't hear from this man for 2 months.
What? This is right after he stayed with you,
Yeah.
met all your friends.
Yes. Yep. And like made like big sweeping like, oh, one day when we like live in a brownstone in the West Village together, blah, blah, blah. Like comments like that.
Radio silence.
Radio silence.
Did you like call him or follow up?
Oh, yeah. I followed up a bunch of times for like several days. And then I was like, okay,
And
obviously.
you
like,
didn't hear back from him.
Didn't hear back. And I was devastated. Like truly devastated.
Have you heard the episode of Seeing Other People where the girl thought she was getting ghosted, but he was really in a coma?
No, but that's.
This is giving that.
I Googled obituary. Truly, I did. That's what I thought. And then, like, nothing came up. So I was like, okay, no. He's just an asshole. Can I curse on this podcast?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I was like, he's just an asshole or, like, maybe even a sociopath. So then, fast forward 2 months later, he likes an Instagram post I post.
No.
It was like a picture of a friend of mine like eating a burger. It wasn't like a hot picture of me.
It was just, hey, I am alive.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna rub it in your face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember that feeling so vividly. Like I can picture myself where I was in my office at work and I like saw my phone and was so angry I thought I was gonna vomit and just start like rapid fire texting him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, who do you think you are that you can ghost me? And like, how could you do this to me and now reappear and do this random thing out of nothing? Like, just like super fast texting, going crazy. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, and this is when I always, this part of the story, I have to be like, okay. And also he was 26, a 26-year-old boy at the time. It's no excuse, but
yeah,
like.
but like the staying with you and all that, like that to then nothing.
No, I mean.
26-year-olds, their brains are just then fully developed.
Like, just got there.
Yeah. He could have said, like, this weekend was really fun. I want to take some space from this situation.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Yeah. Correct. That's what he should have done.
Not that hard.
Correct.
We forgive him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously we forgave him.
We forgive him.
But it took a while. So he's like, we're still friends. Like, you're important to me, blah, blah, blah. And I was basically like, fuck off and die. You don't exist to me anymore. Like, no. It's a big no for me. Mm-hmm. And then like I blocked him on everything except for LinkedIn because you couldn't block on LinkedIn at the time.
Oh my God.
I love how like technology like really
Facebook, Instagram,
is like,
LinkedIn,
yeah,
covering all the bases.
Yes. And like what the capabilities were at the time of each. So I blocked him on everything but LinkedIn. So he sent me a message on LinkedIn a couple months later that was like, what can I do to like apologize? How can he was like, I know this is weird, but I didn't know how else to get in touch with you. Like, can we talk? And I responded and was like, yeah, I blocked you because you are an asshole and you like fell off the face of the earth after all the stuff we did and the stuff you said. Like, no. And then for the next like 18 months, every couple months he would reach out and I'd be like, fuck off.
On
no.
LinkedIn. Or
I think I may have
him?
unblocked him. Yeah, it didn't stay on LinkedIn. I don't remember exactly the sequence of events. I think it moved to email maybe. And I would just be like, no. So that visit was February. The following October, so 18 months later, He does it again. I'm going to be in New York. Can we talk? I want to see you. I want to explain myself. And I was like, okay, fine. Because at that point, like, we don't have friends in common. It's not like we're bumping into each other and it's awkward and he needs to diffuse the situation to like make his life easier. He could have disappeared and never seen me again.
He is
still lives in Austin,
trying to see you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was also just curious, like, what does this fucker have to say?
You want to know. You deserve to know.
Exactly. So then again, we meet up for drinks half a block away from my apartment because I'm not trying to go out of my way for this man. And then it was really like out of a movie. Like, our table wasn't ready, so they make us wait on the street, and he's just like spilling his guts out to me on the sidewalk. Basically, like, the TLDR is that he was like, I got really freaked out. I had really strong feelings for you. I didn't know what to do, and I handled it really badly, and it's the biggest regret of my life.
Wow.
And I was like, I really appreciate that, but like, I don't know if you understand how much you hurt me. Like, I was devastated, and like, I took all the things you said at face value about our future together, and like, what the fuck. And he was really apologetic. Like, his eyes started watering up a little bit, and I could tell he was being really, really genuine, and like, even in that moment was realizing more how much he'd fucked up by like seeing how angry I was and like
and how much
what
he
I was
hurt
saying.
you.
Yeah, and how much he hurt me. So then, like, as soon as we've kind of like, I mean, that conversation wasn't done for like months, but like, there's like a pause. The waiter comes out and is like, your table's available. And we're like,
okay.
It was so awkward. And he was like, well, do you like want? I was like, I don't know. And he like looked at the guy and was like, we need a minute. And I think the guy like was reading the vibes. And I was like, okay. I just like saying out loud, I was like, I don't know if I want to stay here and like have dinner and catch up. I feel really awkward. And we just kind of sat there like staring at each other for a few minutes. And then he came back out again and was like, so like, do you need this table? Or so I was like, okay, yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then it like all started over. Like, we caught up and I was like, oh fuck, I remember why this hurt, because there is something here. Like, there's a lot here. The connection is very intense, and like, we have a lot in common. We see the world in the same way. I think he's so smart and interesting and hot, and like, shit, what have I done?
Yeah. Okay. After this dinner, what was going through your head? Like, what conversations were you having like with your friends about him?
Yeah. So the timing of this is really funny because I was hooking up with a guy who lived in DC, and he was coming in the next day for the weekend.
What about anyone who lived in New York?
Who like knew all of this?
No, like,
for me to date? Oh my God, I know. Isn't that funny? I was like going on dates a lot. The DC guy was so funny. He's a friend of mine, and we were both single at the time, and just like, we're very clearly not each other's types and knew that, but just like,
why not?
We're like, hey, we're in the same city sometimes, like,
right. Whatever.
Yeah, and like, we talked to each other about other people we were dating. Like, we were never trying to date. And like, he had, you know, our mutual friend in town. Yeah. So it wasn't like he was just visiting me. Like, it was so low pressure. That's funny. I never even put that together. They were both long distance guys. But yeah, I had gone on, you know, I was on all the websites. I was single before there were apps. And so yeah, he comes to town the next day. And I was still like, I don't think I'd even told anyone about it at this point, because I didn't even know what to say. Right. Like, I am the person who tells all my friends everything. I don't hide stuff, but like, I just was still processing it so much. Like, I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know what advice I wanted. So I just hadn't.
I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
I think it's really mature and wise to process things on your own and make decisions on your own before getting everyone else's opinions.
It's not something I do all the time.
No, I mean, of course, like, you're human.
Easier said than done.
100%. But sometimes, like, the more we talk things up with people, like, the bigger they become, or the higher on a pedestal someone gets put, or the more intense it feels, the more we feel like we have to lose, versus just like sitting with our thoughts and thinking about it and deciding how we feel.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the other DC guy comes in the next day. We're like hanging out at my apartment. It was like maybe 11. Like, we were like literally in bed, like post-coital, just like hanging out, relaxing. I think maybe the TV was on, and my now husband texts me, and I yelped. Like, I saw the phone. I was like, ah! And he was like, what? So I told him the entire story.
Oh my God.
And he was like, shit, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know. Fast forward to when we got engaged, that DC guy reached out to me and was like, oh my God, is this the guy? I was like, yes, can you believe it?
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah. And he was like, that's great. I'm so glad it worked out. Like, good for you guys.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, then it like, he was like trying to hang out again. And I was just like, oh, I have a friend in town. Like, I can't, sorry.
Yeah.
Also, I just didn't want to, like, I still needed to.
You wanted to think about it.
Yeah.
And sit with it.
Yeah, exactly. But then, like, before you know it, we're texting back and forth all the time. Texting turns to phone calls, FaceTimes, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then, like, a month later, I was like, listen, like, obviously there's something real here, but I'm not trying to have a long distance relationship. And, like, pretty soon after that, he was like, I'll move to New York. I was like, shut up. Like, whatever. I don't believe you. Like, because I'm still, like, I'm balancing, like, having these really strong feelings for him with not knowing if I can trust him, not knowing if he's going to do this again, like, break my heart. If he's, like, maybe actually a bad guy sociopath or just, like, had a really bad lapse of judgment. I'm still, like, feeling that out. But I can't deny how I feel and the connection and, like, all the things we have in common and all that stuff. So it's just like, okay, sure, bro. Like, you do that.
Right. You let me know when you move here.
Yeah. And then, like, a week or two later, he forwards me his one-way flight confirmation. I was like, whoa. Okay. Like, the grand gesture has been made.
Wow.
So, like, a lot of trust was earned back in that moment. And, like, he got an apartment. He wasn't trying to just, like, move in with me and, like, mooch off me or make it too intense, too fast or whatever. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, we consider the day he moved to New York our dating anniversary because from then on we were inseparable. Like, he had an apartment, but, like, he was sleeping in my apartment 6 nights a week pretty much from then on. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. That is a much crazier story than I thought. That is incredible.
Yeah.
How did he propose?
So I was actually so shocked because we had gone to a jeweler together and we designed a ring. I'm using air quotes. Mm-hmm. He stood there while me and the jeweler designed a ring.
Of course.
I am a fashion person. I have very strong feelings about aesthetics. I'm going to wear this every day. Like,
oh God.
People who trust their partners to just pick out a ring, I like
no, I could never.
To them, but I don't get it. I can't relate.
And Jake could never either. Like, he would have he'd be like, that one's a square, that one's a circle. I don't know.
Exactly. It's just like that needs to go away.
Yeah.
And like most of my friends were involved. Like, I think it is going away, but so we were in the period where the ring was being made.
Okay.
We were also in San Francisco with his family because his brother and his had just gotten engaged. Mm-hmm. They started dating literally the same day we did, which is so funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, their dating anniversary is the same day as ours. So they got engaged and we all went to San Francisco like 2 or 3 weeks later to celebrate their engagement. And it was on that trip that he proposed. Wow. So it was while the ring was it was like the only time my guard had been down for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. Because before, like, we agreed to make like, you know, that phase of like, you're going to get proposed to soon. Right. It's like happening. You're kind of always like looking, is it,
the white. Yeah.
Right. Like, is it now? Whatever.
Yeah.
This was literally the only time my guard was completely down. So he and his mom like went on a run, air quotes, and they went to some like little boutique and just bought like a little nothing ring with like a knot on it.
Oh my God.
And I had broken my toe the day before we left for this trip. And then we went hiking and like I was complaining the whole time. Like, and he kept being like, babe, we're almost there. It's 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes for like 45 minutes. I was complaining the whole time. And then we got there. By the way, Schitt's Creek got this from us. Like, it's the exact same plot line, and it happened after we got engaged.
My God.
Like, when I was watching that episode, I was like, this can't be happening.
How did they know? How did they know my story?
So then we got to the top. This was at Land's End. And this like beautiful, like scenic. Mm-hmm. And his mom is like, oh, I'm going to take a video. And I'm just like looking around and I turn around and he's on one knee and I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he did that with that ring to catch you off guard.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And like celebrating, we're there like celebrating his brother and sister-in-law's engagement, like, and he asked their permission, of course. Yeah. And they're great, and they were like, oh my god, that makes it even more fun. That's awesome. Do it, please. Yeah. But yeah, that was so I was so shocked.
Wow. Okay, his redemption arc.
Yeah,
really,
a really good redemption arc.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him.
Yeah,
and I'm really happy for you.
Yep, we are very proud of him.
Let's talk about wardrobe styling.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So what brought you into this field? Why fashion? Why personal styling?
Yeah, so it's such a cliche answer, but like I've always loved fashion. I was like, some of my earliest memories are like sitting on the floor in my mom's closet being like, no, that's ugly. Wear that with that instead. Like, and her just being like, oh, okay. And then putting it on being like, oh yeah, actually
She's
that's
like, what
right.
do you know? You're 6. And then she's like, wait a second.
You do
I've never
know
gotten
something.
so many compliments.
Yeah, exactly. And like I did this for everyone in my life, always. Like at a certain point, I think my brother was like that kid who was like a picky eater, but also a picky dresser. Like he was like, he would only wear like denim, navy blue, and gray. And even if it's like a hoodie had like a like red lining, he'd be like, no, I won't wear that. So at a certain point, my mom was like, okay, this is your responsibility now. Like I'll pay for it, but like you have to pick it out. And like all my guy friends in high school, like I would take them shopping, and like I was the room in the sorority house that everyone would come in to like grab tops or like get approval or whatever. So I've always been this person. I had a whole corporate career before this that spanned tech, media, etc., lots of things. But I started actually doing it as a business, as a side hustle, just mostly with like my friends of friends. After one day when I took a friend shopping because she had like just gone through a breakup and lost or gained, I don't know, her body was different in some shape. And like starting a new job and like a bunch of stuff all at once. And she was like, I have no clothes, help me. And then afterwards we had dinner and she was like, what you do is this is a real thing. You're not just like being my friend. Because I was also telling her like, oh, that doesn't work on you because of like, that color looks weird on your skin or like whatever. And so then I was like, oh yeah, like that's something. So I started it as a side hustle. And then after a few years and just like hitting a breaking point with corporate America, I was like, okay, it's time. Yeah. It's time to do this full time. Yeah. And yeah, wow. Never looked back.
That's incredible and so needed, and something that so many more people need than people who actually do it. Like, I think that's something like I've never thought to go do that or to work with somebody like you, but I know I desperately need to.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just don't like it. This is definitely changing and the industry is really growing, but a lot of people don't realize that like your average upper middle class person can't afford it. Like they just think it's like for billionaires and celebrities. Yeah. And like, yeah, it's not something everyone can have. It is a luxury, but like if you have a cleaning person, if you have a personal trainer, like if you're hiring people to do stuff for you regularly, this is in the realm of possibility.
Absolutely. So let's talk about like fashion as it pertains to dating. Yes. Because as we said at the beginning, and as we know, there are a lot of ties, especially with confidence. Yes. So how have you been able to help people in terms of like what they wear on dates or just kind of like building their confidence and building their like self-love with their body image and like that translating over into dating? None of what I just said made sense.
No, I totally
know you
it.
understand where I'm going.
Completely understand. So yeah, it's a little different for each person. I don't have like, ask these 4 questions and they're healed.
Right. I mean, there's not one size fits all.
Exactly. So a lot of what I do, because I'm very much not a therapist, like there are people for whom I'm like, I can't fix that. Like there are levels far beyond me. But a lot of it's just asking questions. Like when someone is like, oh, I can't wear striped pants. I'm like, oh, why? And usually it's like, oh, because my like 7th grade bully or my mom or whoever or like Cosmo magazine told me because I'm short I can't wear striped pants. You could fill in a million blanks on what those combinations are. But then once people are like, oh, I've been holding on to that thing that like some random person told me that I haven't thought about in 25 years yet, the thing they said to me is affecting how I dress every day. Or like, my like I grew up dancing ballet and like lots of body image trauma from that. And I'm like, they were wrong. Like the stuff my ballet teacher said to me was not okay stuff to say to kids. But you don't realize that until you're older. And like, just even acknowledging where those feelings are coming from, like that kind of shakes, like loosens them up. And people just like start releasing the grip on like, I can't do this because I'm this, or I have to do this because I'm this. Right. And just like questioning it. I mean, it's incredible how just asking those questions like helps people make those changes on their own.
Yeah, because I imagine most people aren't thinking about the why behind how
Never.
they feel.
Never.
And to your point, it's like, okay, so a 13-year-old or even a 26-year-old or a 40-year-old, whoever random person said something and said, this is the way it is. So who made them the boss? Mm-hmm. But we believe it. It's been ingrained in us for so long.
Yeah.
That we can't let go without actually like working through that and realizing that and having those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And like usually it's not like every time they don't buy striped pants, they're thinking about that bully.
Right.
It's just become a rule in their mind.
Right, that they can't wear striped pants.
They can't wear striped pants or whatever the thing is. So that's kind of where I start. And then from there, it's also just like, how do you want to feel in your clothes? What do you like? So I have a whole style discovery process that I go through with people that touches on all of this stuff. But a lot of it is about like, of course, there's a whole mood board and like, celebrities, movies. I weave a lot of pop culture into it because I do find that's like an easy way to be like, oh yeah, like that character from that show, that's something I like. And then that gets people inspired. But just thinking about like, how do you want to look? What style are you going for? Like, do you want to look powerful? Do you want to look feminine? And figuring all that out and then saying like, okay, well, this is the style you want to achieve. Like, here are some ways we can do that. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to make you put striped pants on. You don't have to buy them. You don't have to like it, but I want you to put them on your body and just see how it feels. Yeah. You might hate it. That's fine. Okay. And that's totally fine. But what if you love it?
Right.
And what if the thing you were hiding from was the thing that was going to unlock your style in a completely new way you'd never thought about?
What if you never responded to that Facebook message you got?
Exactly.
Well, you never know.
So
no reason not to try.
Exactly. That's my big thing. Like, I'm not going to force anyone to buy anything ever. That's not my jam.
Yeah.
But I am going to force people to try stuff on.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, I remember this quote from when I was very young. I've always personally disagreed with it. I believe I first heard it in one of the Cheetah Girls movies, so that could be wrong.
Perfect.
But it was that it's more important to look hot than to feel hot.
Oh,
how do you feel about that?
Interesting. I think if you don't think you look hot, you won't feel hot. So like, as an example, like a bodycon dress, if you put it on and you look in the mirror and you're like, ew, my rolls, my whatever, even if any other person would see you and be like, wow, that girl looks hot. If you see yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you're looking at, you will not look hot. I mean, you will not feel hot. So I think that's wrong. But also, I do think they're correlated. So like, if you put something on that you're like, oh, this is a little scary because I've never worn something like this before, like you can warm into it and get used to it. But there are definitely things that like you put on, you're like, I feel bad about myself in this.
Yes.
Even if every other person on planet Earth would see you and be like, oh, you look so hot, you have to feel it first.
You have to feel at least open to it, in my experience. Yeah. Like, I mean, listen.
It might not be a slam dunk right away. You might warm up to it.
Half the time I put things on, I'm like, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And even if other people are like, no, but you look amazing, like, exactly your point. Like, if I can't do it, but there have been times where I'm like unsure, and so I'll try something new. Yeah. And then either no one will say anything or people will compliment it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, I could pull this off. Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing I love about clothes. Like, I think a lot of people think that if you're good at clothes, you're good at interiors and vice versa. I think interiors are so scary and overwhelming because it's like one couch. It's it's like, that's it. Whereas with clothes, I'm like, yeah, you wear it once. If you hate it, it's literally fine. You feel weird for a day. You might get like a side eye from your barista. Like, okay. Yeah. It's fine. The stakes are so low.
Right.
Like, don't try something new for like your wedding or like, a big job interview or something really important, or like a big date with like someone you're excited about. Yeah, maybe not the time to try something new, but like.
Well, what's interesting about that is my wedding dress was fully a corset. prior to trying on wedding dresses,
most people don't end up in the wedding dress they picture themselves in.
I hated corsets. Not just on me, because I had never tried any type of corset thing on, but I didn't like them on anyone. And somehow, out of the 79 dresses I tried on, I went with one with a corset.
But you loved it. As soon as you put it on,
loved
you knew.
it. I loved it. But it was something that I was so shocked because I never liked corsets on anyone.
It's so weird. It's such a thing with weddings. It's very, very rare that people end up in the dress they pictured themselves in. Like, I don't know what that's about, but I've seen this happen so many times. I don't work with bridal a lot professionally, but like, obviously because of who I am, like I'm involved in the decisions for all my friends, and it happens over and over and over and over again. It's like, I don't want to be in a princess dress and like they're walking down the aisle in like a full-on cake of a dress.
Right.
Like, it's just, or like, I always pictured myself in a huge dress and then they're in like a slip. It's just like,
it's like, I don't want to be with a basic Jewish guy from the tri-state area.
And yet.
Okay. That's well,
and
yes, I do. Yes, you do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really funny. Okay. What about when it comes to dressing for dates in terms of like trying to wear something that will either make you feel and like act like your best self on a date or make you like attract the right type of person?
Yeah. So I think the answer is both.
Okay.
It's the same. Feeling like your best self on a date is going to attract the right type of person for you. Because like you can look objectively really hot in an outfit, but if it doesn't feel like you, the person that outfit is attracting, they're not attracted to you. They're attracted to girl in costume of I am looking hot on date.
Yeah.
So if you're not comfortable in dresses and skirts and you just like are like, okay, this is what I have to wear on date, so I will wear this on date, it's sending off the wrong message. It's like if you like curse a lot in your regular life but don't curse on a date because you're trying to be a good girl, then this person you're on a date with thinks you have a clean, you like have a clean vocabulary, and then 3 dates in or 3 months in or whatever, when you start actually being yourself, they're gonna be like, wait, what? Who? What is this?
Well, it's like trying to like play it cool and be the chill girl when you're not.
When you're not.
When you know what you want and you want to ask for the things you want. Or it's like putting every single one of like your best pictures on your dating app profile that don't show your personality, but they show you looking hot. But that's not you on a normal day.
And that's not, exactly. Like, it's false advertising.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah. And I think nothing is worse than feeling like there's this expectation that you have to live up to based on the way you've been communicating with somebody over text, based on the photos in your dating app profile. Yeah. And then let's say like you've gained some weight or you don't relate to the person in those pictures from 3 years ago anymore.
Totally.
But you know that that's what they think they're going on a date with. You add so much pressure to yourself.
So much
And you
pressure.
can't actually just be yourself.
Absolutely. And I think this is one of those times where you can like really use clothing as armor to like force yourself into being yourself. So if you're like a jeans and t-shirt girl, I mean, unless you're going somewhere really fancy, wear a jeans and t-shirt on a date. Like throw on a lip or like a cuter shoe, sure. Like you want to be appropriate for the venue and for the situation, but also like wearing the things you normally wear, you're immediately comfortable and it helps you be yourself.
Yeah. Because, I mean, imagine wearing something that's like too tight that like you have to have perfect posture.
Exactly.
Like, sitting up straight.
The worst.
You're not actually focused on the date. You're focused on like sitting up and making sure you don't slouch at all where your like rolls come out and then you're self-conscious and not eating. Like you want to just be able to like chill.
Yes. And the thing about wearing too tight pants, this is like, I feel so strongly about this. And I did it for so much of my life too. Like I would I've had like bruises on my hip bones from my jeans being too tight. So, I mean, that's horrible. No one should have that experience. The thing also about it is that when your pants are too tight or any other clothing item, but I think it's most common with pants, you are literally being punished for being too big.
Yeah.
You are in physical discomfort the whole time you're wearing them. You're punishing yourself for not fitting into something that's too small for you. And that's all you can think about. You're not having fun on your date. You're like, oh my God, when is this over so I can take off these fucking pants? And you're being reminded with every second that passes that you're wearing in the pants that you're too big. The truth is, you're too big for the pants. You're not too big.
The pants are too small.
Yeah. Thank you. Good reframe.
The pants are too small.
Yeah.
They're not the right size.
The pants do not deserve that power over you.
No. I remember, so I gained a lot of weight in college, and like after college was probably like my peak weight. And for so long, I never considered the idea of like buying new clothes. And there was one time where I ended up going to a store and I was going to a music festival with a friend and I like wanted jean shorts to wear, but I didn't have jean shorts. We went into like a Kohl's or something. And I tried on shorts that were a bigger size than I normally would have gotten. I was like, wait a second. Oh my God. Like I thought I could no longer wear jean shorts.
Correct.
And I was like, wait a second. I can wear jean shorts. I just needed a different size.
Yep.
It was crazy.
And you're not alone. Like, I hope you don't feel alone in that experience because
it was
it's
eye-opening.
So common.
It was eye-opening, and I felt so sad for myself.
Yeah.
Where like I remember telling people like, "Oh, you're so lucky you can wear jean shorts. I can't." It's like, what do you? Like, anyone in the world can wear jean shorts.
Literally any person alive. Any person alive can wear anything. It's just a matter of finding the one you like that fits your body parts, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think I also spent years of my 20s like wearing the standing jeans, like the jeans that you can't sit in, but they look amazing when
I don't
you stand.
let my clients own standing jeans.
No, I don't do them anymore.
I don't.
I have a lot of jeans that I need to donate, honestly.
Yeah.
But because I have like 2 drawers of jeans. I wear one.
Yeah.
There's one pair of jeans I wear.
Yeah. You should just get a second pair of those jeans and get rid of everything else. That's it.
I got them at a boutique in Hawaii, so
okay, well,
that might be tough.
Try to find another
pair
one,
of jeans that I
spiritually
really like.
similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
The soul sister of the jeans.
Also, most people have more jeans than they need.
Oh,
that's like
100%.
99% of people have too many jeans. 100%. They don't wear them all.
Do you remember what you were wearing on your first date with your husband?
No. Like, not even a little bit. Well, because I didn't think
well,
it was
you
a
didn't
date.
think yeah.
I remember what I was wearing the second time we met up when it felt like it was a date.
Okay.
Because I was going after to this amazing gay bar in Hell's Kitchen called Flaming Saddles. I don't know if you've been.
I haven't. It sounds fun.
So fun. It's like Coyote Ugly, but it's all gay guys.
Amazing.
And it's kind of like Western-y themed a little bit.
Feels like home.
Yeah, exactly. I know my friends, none of whom were from Texas, were like, "We're going here, and we need you to tell us what to wear."
You're like, got it,
yeah,
can do.
Check. Like I have a photo of one of my friends from that night wearing like one of my UT shirts and he's like very tall and muscular, so it was like really tight and hot on him. I was like, yeah, love that for you. So I was wearing a fur vest and a black t-shirt, or maybe a long sleeve shirt, a black shirt. And like dark wash jeans and some kind of like boot or booty. So I was like, it's like a cute outfit, but I can continue it on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love that. My first date with Jake, I believe I wore leggings under my jeans, a black turtleneck with a sweater over it with a jacket over it because it was 20 degrees during COVID and we had to sit outside.
Oh my God, I'm so hot just listening to this.
I had a scarf and a hat and gloves, and I brought a portable hand warmer.
That's
and you know
very
what?
Prepared.
Jake loved that I came prepared and that
great.
I was just comfy.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about how I looked because I was so cold, and I was really glad that I wore layers to be comfortable.
Yes, because you wouldn't have had fun on the date if the whole time you were just like, yeah, I look hot, but I'm freezing and I'm so uncomfortable.
Like, it was literally 20 degrees.
Wow, brave. I would not have gone to that date.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that I did. But he wore like jeans and a shirt and a jacket, and he was freezing. And I'm like,
boys don't understand how to layer.
No, but I know like most of my friends would have done the same thing, where they would have just like had a shirt and a jacket and they would have been freezing. And I don't know. I think I was just like, whatever. Like, I'd rather be warm than
you were right.
freezing and uncomfortable. I'd rather be warm and be able to just like be myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you knew.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. I didn't always know.
You knew that last.
But
yeah,
that night I knew. And
yeah.
And he has mentioned that like he liked that I did that. Like he noticed that I was just like myself.
Totally.
And not like trying to impress him.
And also, like, what is hotter in a person you're going to spend your life with than someone who comes places prepared? Maybe that's just my personality, but like,
I agree.
Like, someone who you're going to feel safe with, who you know is like taking care of business, like, what a turn on. That's amazing.
I'm like, your hands are cold? Here, share my portable hand warmer with me.
Exactly.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Winter is coming, you guys.
Portable hand warmers for everyone.
Be prepared.
Although hopefully we don't have to go on dates for that reason ever again.
Correct. But in general, portable hand warmer.
Yeah.
It's a great accessory. If you could tell one thing to every girl out there,
oh my God, just one.
what would it be?
Wear clothes that make you comfortable. Comfortable means physically comfortable, but also makes you feel like yourself. So you're comfortable. It's projecting what you want it to project. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
One is hard.
I know. You can add more.
Well, I guess like 1A would be wear clothes for you. Like trends, the other girls in my office wear this, guys will think I'm hot if I wear this. That kind of stuff is not serving you. Like if you like it, wear it. That's the only fashion rule that matters.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. That's why it's so funny. Before you came, I was like, oh shit. Like, should I like try?
Oh my God. It's so, I know. No. It's so funny. Like people get like stressed out about that. And I'm like, I think I have this on my Instagram bio. I go through phases of like, I'm always tweaking it. I'm sure you're the same way. Like but like judgment free is something I hope I am always coming across as.
I mean, I felt no judgment.
Okay, good. Because people like, I've heard from a lot of people that like they're, even once they've signed up to work with me, that like the night before I come over, they get really nervous and freak out that I'm going to judge them. Like, A, it makes me bad at my job if I judge you. And B, I guarantee the stuff you have is not the worst stuff I've seen. Like, it just isn't.
Yeah.
But like, even with the stuff, like when I'm in a closet that I'm like, oh, yikes. What I take away from that is not like, ew, this person's stupid or sucks.
It's like, oh, I can really help this person.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm here.
Yeah.
To help this person get out of this, whatever. And this, usually when I'm like, oh, yikes, it's like stuff that's too worn out or like is really the wrong size. It's not like, oh, that's ugly, because taste is subjective. Like, I put people in things that I don't personally like because I know it's a good fit for them. It looks good on them. They like it. Like, my taste is irrelevant.
Right. That's what I mean. That's why there's so much out there. There is stuff for everyone. It might not be what the rules say is for you.
Yeah.
But there are so many options.
Yeah.
There are so many options.
Yeah.
I don't want my guy listeners to hate me for asking what you would tell the girls and not the guys. Is the advice for guys any different than what you would?
I would add, I mean, I think that piece of advice I gave for the girls
totally
applies to everyone of all genders. But to the guys, I would add a problem I see guys having more than girls is not replacing stuff enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I know you found the jeans, you love them, but like they have holes in them. They're stained.
Correct.
Like, and also the good thing with guys' clothes is that brands are a lot more consistent. Like if the jeans are 3 years old, they might still make the exact jeans. Yeah, you have to wear them. You have to break them in. Like, it's a thing. But it's easy. Like, brands are just not switching it up as much. So even if like, you know, the version you have is a little different than the one now, there is still a one now. Whereas like with women's clothes, it's like, if you find something you like and you think you're going to wear it a lot, buy two. I'm straight up.
The definition of if I like something, I have it in every color it comes in. Yeah. And I have no regrets about that.
Yeah, no, I think especially for women's clothes, because
this top I have underneath, I have this in 5 colors.
Great.
It's just my perfect, like, basic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Especially with basics, like you won't find it again.
If you find something that works,
yes.
Copy paste.
Copy paste. And honestly, depending on like what colors are available, sometimes buy the same color multiple times, especially
I need to do that
if it's black or white.
Yeah.
Because like the black's going to fade. The white's
well,
going to get stained.
I have 2 of these leggings.
Yeah. Like no shame in that game. Absolutely. Because for women, it's just like it's not going to exist.
Correct.
Most of the time. Like there's some brands that's more reliable. Like you can probably find the same Theory pants from 5 years ago. But like most things, and sometimes athleisure, but even they're like switching it up a lot. But yeah, guys, like replace, like 99% of guys listening to this right now, throw away all your socks and just buy all new socks. Like I've been in enough of your drawers that I know your socks are all garbage. Your underwear all has holes in it. Yep. Just like, and you could even do that on a schedule. Like, I know I've found this to be really helpful for guys. Like put it in your calendar.
Once a year.
March 1st, throw away all your socks and underwear, buy all new socks and underwear. And maybe it's not every year, but like figure out a cadence and just like do it automatically, because you will let it go. Like, it's not a coincidence that the single guys out there are looking schlubby and the guys who have female partners are being taken care of. Like, their socks don't have holes in them, like, because their female partners are like, sir, no,
holding them accountable.
Yeah.
I
or
have,
just like throwing
I
it
have
out.
gotten to the point in my relationship where I have purchased socks for Jake as a gift.
Great.
Yeah, nice socks.
Yeah,
Bombas. Pay up from.
absolutely. And like, also, this is another like hill I will die on. No one sees them, but your socks, underwear, bras, undershirts, like all the under things are literally what is the closest to your skin.
Yeah.
Like, don't cheap out on that stuff. I would rather you buy cheaper clothes and more expensive undergarments if like it's only one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what's like powering your whole day, what's making your shoes feel good, what's making your clothes feel good. And like with bras, what's making how all of your clothes fit you changes if you're wearing a bad bra.
Yeah.
So,
and if you can feel it, if it's uncomfortable all day.
All day.
You want to not notice that it's there.
Yeah.
Like am I wearing underwear right now? Like I know I am because
Right.
I always do, but I don't feel it.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 final questions for you.
Great.
I hope you came prepared. If you didn't, that's okay. Best piece of dating or relationship advice you've ever received or have to give?
Trust your gut.
Boom. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, we did it.
Where can everybody find you? And if people want to work with you, how can they get in touch?
Yes, absolutely. So I am wardrobe editor everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, my website, wardrobeeditor.com. You can DM me on Instagram. I am there a lot. There's also a contact page on my website you can email me. You can book a time for a consult. I'm a very big believer in price transparency. I think it's a waste of everyone's time if people don't know how much your services cost.
I agree.
So I have all that information on my website. And yeah, feel free to DM me with questions. Also, like, if you're like, this is my situation, I don't know if you're the right fit for me, or if if a stylist is what I need versus like an organizer, or I don't know, a therapist, like whatever. Like,
it's all self-care.
Yeah, it is. And all of those things are important, and most people need all of those things at some point.
Correct.
So yeah, like if you're not sure, I'm happy to have those conversations. Instagram DMs is the easiest, but email is great too.
Amazing. And I will have all of that linked in the show notes for you guys. Gab, thank you so much for being here. This has been so fun.
This was so much fun.
Yay.